On this week's episode of the Superhero Show, we'll find out if a big beefy green beast takes out Superman on the Superman and Lois finale, if the somewhat beefy Skrulls take out Nick Fury on Secret Invasion, and if a beefy Wolverine from Jubilee's fairy tale is named the best moment ever in the history of X-Men the Animated Series. All of that and more on an all-new episode of the Superhero Show. What's up, nerds? Welcome to the Superhero Show, the only show on the internet that reviews every single live-action television show based on a comic book, as well as some of the animated ones. My name is Cassie, and I will be the host of this episode. And today, I have not only some friends here to help me, but I have some co-hosts. That's right. For one night, a trial, one-time only thing. I do have them. We have co-hosts together here hosting it with me. And before I bring on the first co-host, I would like to remind him this is a trial. So let's see how it goes. And introducing co-host Ryan.
If this is a trial, then I want a gavel.
Okay.
I want a judge's robe.
Okay.
And I want to be able to object to basically anything you guys say.
Like, I'm going to say I deserve double the
objection! Sustained.
Wait, doesn't sustained mean like...
I'm the judge and the lawyer.
But doesn't that mean like your objection is thrown out, so my point was still valid?
No, I'm always confused by this too. Overruled means it's thrown out.
Wait, does it actually?
Every time I hear sustained, I have to think like, wait, is that the good one or the bad one? No, overruled is the bad one. Sustained is the good one.
Oh my gosh. This changes every SVU that I've ever watched. Every single one. And I've seen them all, Ryan. Ask me about any SVU. I'll tell you the plot of it.
Well, I don't think you will, Cassie. You don't understand the basic fundamental language of the episode.
That's why I never was like, wow, I thought they were losing that trial, but it ended up going really well for them. So this changes a lot of things for me. You've already teaching me something as a co-host. That's one
objection.
Point. That's the good one or the bad one?
Sustained.
No, wait, it's not got to it yet. Listen, I'm here. All right, Ryan. 1 point. You're on thin ice, though. Other co-host, Caitlin, is here.
Wow, as long as I'm not on thin ice, I'm like really...
You're on like currently thick ice. Like a polar bear would be strolling across it confidently.
Good. Because like thin ice, not about that.
No, it's too...
I can't even like put crushed ice in my water cup because it's just... I have like a phobia of it.
Listen, I know we're in a bit right now, but what?
Crushed ice?
What do you mean you can't have the small thin ice in your cup? That's the best ice.
It's a thin type.
But that's the good to go into crunch on.
Ew.
Okay, well, negative point for giving a
sustained.
Big... She threw a big ew at me. That's a negative point as a co-host here. Her trial is not going great. Caitlin, how are you going to make the most of your trial?
I'm going to actually walk around the courtroom all the time.
Okay.
And I'm going to make sure I go to every single one of the people on the people that make the decision. What are they called?
The jury.
The jury.
Oh my God, damn it. The jury.
I'm going to go to each one of them and I'm going to give them $5 each.
That's what I'm talking about, bribery.
And then when I give them $5, I'm also going to give them a lollipop because who doesn't like that?
Wow.
And then when it's lunchtime, I'm going to give them a hot dog and they're going to always go to me because I'm the cool doggy girl.
Now, these are all coming from your pockets and you're just casually pulling them out?
Cassie, I have a trench coat. I don't know if you've seen, but it's full of dogs.
Yeah.
Dogs,
cool.
Pops.
Everyone
gems.
loves when you pull a wiener out of a trench coat. Cassie, I have a question.
Yeah.
You put bedpans underneath each of the people in the jury. Is that for the jury duty?
Yeah, right. Exactly right. You know what's up.
My dogs be barking.
This intro has given me a fun insight into Ryan, and he's very specific about courtroom procedure and terminology. And if we get it wrong, it's a bad time for him. And
objection.
This is a fun fact I've learned about Ryan.
What was the other word
Overruled.
instead of? Yeah, there it is.
I'm gonna have the bailiff throw both of you out.
Ooh, look at he threw another term at us.
Proceedings.
Hey, what do you know about that, Ryan?
You guys seen that viral video where one of the judge shows the defendant looks at the bailiff and is like, "What is wrong with you, man? You seem crazy." And everyone starts to laugh. He's not crazy. He has a serious job. He has a serious face. And the guy's like, "No, man, you look like you're about to murder someone." And then it cuts to like months later, he is busted for murdering his wife.
Oh,
Guy was totally right about him murdering someone.
Woo, man, that's good stuff. I would love to talk about courtroom drama with you guys, but we have a big show ahead of us because tonight we're going to be talking about Riverdale, The Walking Dead, Dead City, Gotham Knights, Secret Invasion. We're also revisiting X-Taz, but before we all get to all of that, it's the main event where we talk about the Superman and Lois finale.
I'll be the judge of that.
On the season 3 finale of Superman and Lois, Luthor is out for revenge and is going about it in the chillest way possible by making Bizarro-Superman that's in his basement indestructible so that he can kill Clark. In the midst of all of that, Jordan is starting to make up with Sarah, Henry and Lana go on a date, Kyle and Chrissy are having a baby, and Grandpa gets kidnapped. Taste buds, I ask you. This finale had a great mix of drama and action. Is there one that you were drawn to more?
First of all, based on that intro, are we going to have to like make this segment 45 minutes? We have so much shit to get into.
They packed it in, but it didn't feel like it was too crammed. Like, honestly, all worked in there.
I don't know about you, Cassie, but watching this, I feel bad making fun of Mike and Caitlin for screaming about this show for years now.
I know. Like, every time, like, they're like, this is so good, you gotta watch it. And I'm like, I know. I just don't know, like, I just don't fit it in the schedule. And then I watch it in a week and I'm like, God damn, this might be like one of the best things we watch. And I just don't watch it.
It 100% is the best show we watch. And it's so good. And this is just a prime example. And I don't even think this is like one of the best episodes that we've seen of Superman and Lois that you guys have missed.
There's a beefy abomination that gets built.
Guys, I'm so glad that they gave you a preview of what I saw last week with this zombie Superman just taking a bite of a rat. Please tell me your reactions to seeing this shit.
I was like, at least it's not s'mores.
You bite into a rat before a s'more?
Absolutely. As long as there's no marshmallow or fucking graham cracker. So let's start here with Bizarro. Who do you guys have we talked about? Because I don't pay attention when you might talk about the show. Do we talk about comic book Bizarro?
No. So I was actually I wanted to know from you, like, who is this? Like, what is his globbity glorp's name? Like,
tell me, who is this, Ryan? This guy's mysterious.
And if you're not too busy, what is his phone number?
Oh,
what's he into? Is he single? Who does he normally go after?
Bizarro is notoriously the single worst comic book character in the history of comic books because he is the opposite of Superman in every way, which means he talks in the opposite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like, it's opposite day, but it's opposite life. And it's really confusing and impossible to do. They have fixed that by eliminating dialogue.
Yes.
Screenwriters figure out ways to not write dialogue, and your show will be better. I didn't know that if you kill him, what does kill him makes him stronger.
Yes.
I don't know if that's from the comic books. I also didn't know that everything will grow but his head.
He stays so tiny.
So he's not opposite Superman. He's opposite Funko doll. Just walking around with the smallest little head. But Jesus fucking Christ. This scene where Lex Luthor, and Caitlin, I don't know if this ramped up too quickly or if this was perfect, about how Lex Luthor is like out of jail, drives over to the Kents, and he's like, fuck you, I want revenge. Be on the lookout, idiots. And then figures out Bizarro and realizes that what does kill him makes him stronger. And then we get to a torture scene.
It's like a training montage, but it's a torture montage.
But it is set to alternative rock.
Yeah.
Like he goes over to a little boombox.
He's been in jail for 20 years, so he pulls out his cassette collection and puts on Ministry and tortures him over and over and over again. And it is weird because it is a training montage, but also makes torture far more horrifying and traumatic than torture scene that we're going to talk about in the pull list. This was crazy.
His the way he would it had, men in the gym energy where they just scream at each other. And he was like, I need more from you. You're not done yet. And it's like he's literally dying. I was like, this is insane.
And what it is because it's not the comic book Bizarro with the big gray face. It's, what's his name? Brandon Routh. Who plays Superman?
Oh, Tyler Hoechlin.
It's Tyler Hoechlin, and he is bringing it here. The sadness in his eyes, his white glowy eyes is still like, please stop hurting me. I can feel all of this. Just because you come back from death doesn't mean you don't feel the pain that gets you to the death. It was kind of impressive.
And the way he did not hold back on any of those screams.
Oh my God, Cassie, I'm so glad you brought it up because he's like, ah! I'm like, oh my God, this room.
Yeah.
While they're filming, just screaming Tyler, like, wow.
Again,
all of his roles,
his digits?
all of his roles, he screams a lot because he's good at it.
They had one role and he was like, wow, this guy can do it. And then ever since then, it's been in his writer. It was like, hey, by the way, he screams like a motherfucker if you want to use it.
So it's like Tom Cruise is the running.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise has to run in every script, and Tyler Hoechlin has to scream.
We all have our talents.
And also, the way that he would scream and he would harmonize to the death metal in the background. So nice.
But yeah, I was like, the timing, it does seem like, normally it would be absurd for it to go this quick in the story. But honestly, I felt like it moved along perfectly for it. I was like, the beginning of the show, we got all of our drama, our heart moments, our family moments. And then they were like, now let's bring that comic book stuff. And honestly, the perfect blend, that transition to, it was perfect.
The whole Lex Luthor's been gone for 42 days and it's 42 days later. And it's we go straight back to where we were at the last episode. Did you guys feel like Lex Luthor, he is the scary guy, he is the villain that we all know from comics, or did he feel different?
Well, definitely different. And so then you got to think about what are the core
the hair
tributes to, or attributes of Lex Luthor. And it is the hair. That hair has to come off for sure. He is our big bald boy. But also it's the I will not stop until my goal is achieved, and my goals are literally or typically more deranged than other people's goals.
Yeah.
We don't have the guy in the suit. We don't have the guy at the top of the, the skyscraper like we normally would get, but there's still some Lex here.
It did have, I hate to compare it this way, but almost like Trump supporter vibes when he was when Superman first approached him and was like, hey, Lois, was just doing what she could. How would she have known that you were truly innocent? And he was like, I told her. I went to her and I told her, oh, yeah, of course, for sure.
If someone tells you that they're not doing wrong, you're just going to believe them.
Yeah, where I feel Smallville Lex Luthor is more backstabby and plans stuff out. And this dude is just brute force, in your face, my word is everything, all this nonsense.
Well, let's be real. Smallville is a small town, and Clark, if we're being realistic about this, is the only non-Trump voter in the entire city.
Yeah.
So everybody from Sleazy Kyle to the guy that Clark put on the bar and pinned his arm before to Lex Luthor, they're all waving Trump flags for sure.
Unfortunately, it is a red city, is what I think.
Right. And I think that it does feel more like the Lexes in the past feel like Clark met him in Metropolis. And this is the first Lex, I think, that it feels like, no, this guy is from Smallville. He might go to Metropolis one day, but this is a Smallville motherfucker. This
boy raised on corn, for sure.
The food and the band.
We talked a bit about, since we're already on Bizarro, let's go ahead and talk about the fight. Once they unleash, as soon as you see him turn into this monster, who does have shoulder studs for reasons that are unexplained. But
he pulls them out at one point, and I was like, fuck yeah.
They, how do you guys feel about this little beast that he created and how they presented him?
We have a new Bebo, is what I think.
That's so insane.
Oh yeah,
How dare you.
huggable, adorable for sure. I mean, I feel like that we've all done a good job at adjusting what we think of when we watch TV special effects, right? And that's been easier to do as TV special effects get better, as movie special effects get worse for some reason. And I thought that the whole thing looked great. Again, the best special effect that this show has is Tyler Hoechlin's face. Like when he gets thrown down in front of the group, like the city is all there waiting for an asteroid or something, and he gets thrown down there, and he's like, Jordan, don't use your powers. Everyone be cool, even though I'm worried as fuck. And that face is priceless. But also at a certain point, Clark goes, oh, is that the moon? I'm going to punch this fucker to the moon. And it was, it was awesome.
I think that, like, just going straight to the ending, we end with a fight. We get this season finale of Superman fighting Bizarro-Superman on the fucking moon.
It's so
It's so comic book, but it's so, like, epic. And I'm like, ah!
The frame of them going at each other from two different sides. I was like, this fucking
And see,
kicks ass.
that's TV to me, because movies have to be big and bigger and bigger and bigger. And so it gets to the point where you don't know what's going on. But this show, because of budget or storytelling style, is like, no, if there's going to be a big punch, we're going to slow it way the fuck down so you can see their faces, and you can see how great Hoechlin's face is, how tiny Bizarro's face is, and then also just like where the punches hit. Like they're going at it, and it's awesome.
The initial fight he has where like he's kind of like introduced to him. And there's this moment, they're going back and forth, and then Clark fucking like throws him, like stabs him with like some little building. I was like, that is so dark and so kick-ass.
It was so cool because like you could tell Bizarro has like, he doesn't have the brains to like put together a plan, whereas Superman does. And so he's like, I'm gonna freeze this boy in the water and then throw him up on the spear and stab him.
The perfect throw. A perfect little toss
so
this,
good.
so casually.
A throw so perfect, I cannot believe Clark didn't say Kobe when he threw it.
Truly a beautiful arc on that beefy boy.
Seriously.
Right on.
He deserved like a stuffed animal for winning like that. It was fantastic.
A little Bebo, but it was a swish directly onto this pole, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's really good because he's dead, and you don't come back from death. You certainly don't get stronger after
and
you
then
die."
he's like, Superman's like, don't worry, everyone, I got it.
The like landing from him being like, hey, it's all cool, from doing this savage thing. It's like this mix of like, I understand you did have to do that, but that is like kind of like a Superman that I feel like not everybody had seen. And everybody was just like, okay, bet. And this dude is just like bleeding off of like a tower, and he's like, everything's cool, it's all good. I was like, this show is doing it.
And then you get to watch my 9 moments of the week every time this happened, which is Bizarro dying and then waking up and being like, oh, what the fuck? There's a building in my gut. What the fuck is this?
And then the way he pulled himself off that building too and flew, I was like, oh my God, this show is great.
It's so good. So we jumped right into the action moments, and because we were excited to talk about that beefy boy, let's go ahead and go into like the drama and the family moments that were at the beginning. Something that really stood out to me, like stuff that this show does that like I don't think anybody else would, is like Lois has been struggling with like intimacy ever since her mastectomy, and this is like a story. This was a whole plot line in this one, and I was like, no other show is going to do this realistic thing.
That's all. Like her getting cancer at the very beginning, I would never have guessed it would go from the beginning to the end, and like you'd have to walk through this whole thing with Lois and really show what a superhuman she is for going through this and being so strong and like going through all this and like all these human things, and having her, she's been like the narrator at the beginning of almost every single one of the episodes, like talking about her story, and then her story then trickles into the rest of it. But it's been a lot of just kind of the Lois show with Clark and Superman and all these other super things involved, and I think that's what makes this show just so good.
Like none of the others. Truly, no show is operating at what this is doing, and it's unreal.
In a lot of ways, I think that this is what if Ted Lasso was as good as everybody says it was. In that Ted Lasso is sort of like this show that stands out among the Barrys and Successions and all of the shows that are just awful people doing awful things. And I think it's this one. This one's so much more, I don't know, inspirational. Can I say that? Than Ted Lasso is, because the show is just filled with all of these like learning moments, and everybody wants to teach, but it's not in a douchey way. Like if you have a teachable moment with me, I'm gonna fucking just slap you. I'm gonna slap you in your face. But
no, go. Sorry.
But here, like Clark's teaching, is it Jordan? What he did to Sarah is so fucked up. He's like, it's been 3 months, dude. Go fix it, and just there with advice. But then 5 minutes later, this. Lois's dad, who when I started watching the show was like basically the Red Hulk, just Commander Dickhead, but now is like, hey, be careful with Jordan, because that sort of pressure. Trust me, I learned from being a dad, like that's really going to get to him. It's going to backfire. And Clark's like, that's really good advice, instead of doing what I would do, which is slap the shit out of him if he said that to me.
Well, I'm sorry. Do you want to raise my son? Well, I'm sorry.
It's such a good show.
It also has these, like, on the Ted Lasso thing, like, there's these moments of, like, inspirational family moments that should, like, all the shows that are, like, try to do it where it's, like, this family that's so great together, all the moments are just cheesy. But there's moments of, like, when they're just excited and they're like, we're taking a trip to Italy. Like, the dorkiest dad moment of him, like, we're going to Italy. And I was like, this is just precious.
That was a weird moment for me, because basically Lois says, I'm ready to finally be intimate after all of the stuff that's happened to me. Because it's not just like a life-threatening disease, but it's an entire body change, and I haven't felt comfortable in my own skin until right now. And he's like, yeah, okay. Me ready too, talking like Bizarro. And then she's like, you know what, I have an idea, and they fly to Italy. Do the deed, get back. And just, by the way, like going to Italy for any amount of time, that's dorky. Like, don't do that. But then get back, and the boys are walking into the farmhouse, and they're like, boys, we have something to tell you. And I thought for sure Clark was going to be like, we did it.
For real?
We
I was
had
like,
sex.
we just porked, guys. Disgusting.
But no, it's take a family trip, because of course.
Also, they're taking a family trip to fucking Uncle Tal's house, which has been their sex dungeon for the longest time.
Kids, don't bring any black lights on this vacation.
Don't want to know.
Guys, that's all they have talked about Uncle Tal's house as. No one else has gone there except to bang. It's been a bang palace, and Superman and Lois have been there a lot, and I can't remember who else they rented it out to, but
I did not know this fact about
it. Is so when they said, we're going to Uncle Tal's, I was like, oh no.
You can't.
You can't take the kids there.
We did it there, we did it there, we did it there, we did it there.
On the wall, on the ceiling.
Speaking of bodily fluids, I'm to believe that dirty fucking Kyle shot his dirty jizz into Chrissy Beppo and got her pregnant. What has happened with this show?
Of anyone, I would expect to be Kyle.
This whole thing of Kyle so instantly like, yes, I would love to be a dad with you. This means so much to me.
Whipped out an air guitar and just started rocking it right there.
Not just like casual, just like a normal human being. And I was like, this ain't Kyle. And then it is Kyle for when everyone is gathered to watch this meteor or whatever that is. I don't remember what was happening. He says, excuse me, let me grab this mic so I can propose to her.
He interrupts a man as he's talking about science, Jesse. A man is talking about science and the meteor shower that's happening, and he's talking about all these great students that helped put this on. And Kyle has to be like, no. You need to stop your job right now, your volunteer job, so I can go propose to this girl over here that I knocked out.
You can, at the very least, you white trash, underwear skid-covered bitch, wait till he finishes his sentence. He hops up on stage in the middle of a sentence.
Also, there was so much build time until that man got on that mic. That mic was hot that whole time. You could have went up there whenever you wanted.
Also, if you know you're going to be proposing tonight, it is a fucking meteor shower. It's going to be beautiful in the sky. Why not wait till the sky is falling and you can have this beautiful backdrop and someone can take a picture or something? Come on, Kyle, think it through.
He has never thought anything through.
That's true.
He's just the
Why
worst.
is it, and I know like many people have pondered this, but why is it the dirtiest, trashiest people have the healthiest, strongest jizz and just keep procreating constantly?
It's honestly the worst thing. Other than that, we do have Grandpa getting kidnapped, and this happens because he was briefly on the apps, met somebody.
Grandpa got taken because
He got catfished by an agent.
a person who worked for Lex Luthor, the torture squad.
Now, like, we didn't know it then, but if you rewatch this episode, he's walking around, cock of the walk. Look at me, guys. I'm back in the game because somebody likes me. Nope, not at all.
Nope.
Did you guys recognize that actress?
No.
She played Sue Storm in the ill-fated 1994 Roger Corman, very cheaply made Fantastic Four movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's back.
And she's
ready
back now.
And she's fully back.
She's fully back, and she's part of Lex's team this time.
And working for Luthor.
That's pretty much all the big parts, though. Are you guys ready to go to Moment of the Week?
Yeah.
Yes.
Caitlin, what do you got for it?
Mine is when the family, the Kent family's taking a family vacation and they're talking to Jordan. They're being like, we're going to save a lot of money on air flights because guess what? We got 2 planes right here. Just pack light.
And he was going to be mad. He's like, you tell me I can use my powers for vacation, but not to help people. And I was like, pretty good point.
Good point. But Cassie, they're helping people. They're saving on emissions. Like there's so many things that they're doing. But what Clark said was much better than what I just said, but still. And then after that, Clark gets so excited. He's like, we could have matching shirts. We could have matching family shirts. I was like, you fucking dork.
Yeah.
Clark is legit a dork.
Yeah.
Like he acts like one as Clark Kent and he is one. Like it's beautiful, and I love all the dorkiness that they put in this Clark.
He's like, I should act dorky when I'm Clark, so no one guesses my true identity. It's like, you don't need to do that, dude. You're so fucking dorky.
It's fine.
It's you.
But he did say to his sons, he was like, if we're flying to Vegas, I don't need a suitcase. I don't need a bag. I just got this sack. And he just grabbed his nuts and said he was gonna fuck his wife the entire time in Uncle Tal's cabin.
Which was a little awkward at the diner, but
Oh my God, guys! I didn't even mention. So they've always said that this is Uncle Tal's palace, right? And they have never said how they have found it. This episode they finally revealed oh, how'd you know Uncle Tal had a palace kind of thing? Because no one really knew much about Uncle Tal.
What do they call it, Uncle Talus?
Uncle Tal
it's right there.
And this one, the DOD found the address and found that he owned it. So then they just immediately took it over. That's what we found out this episode.
That's good.
Love that. I love that. The DOD lawyers.
That's so good. Ryan, what's your moment of the week?
My moment of the week has to be the throw out of the building. He's
So
like,
good.
he's. I have a ball in my hand. It's a giant ice ball filled with a Bizarro-Superman, but it's a ball, and I'm a dude, and I'm gonna fucking go for 3 from right here.
And in case you didn't know, Superman balls.
And so does Clark.
My moment of the week along the same lines is just that ending battle and that ending scene. It's such a good way to end a season. Just this epic battle, this beautiful shot. I loved everything about it.
You didn't feel like it was a little bit like they ran out of screenwriting pages, it was time to wrap up that episode? Or do you really feel like this was a tailor-made perfect ending? Because this show was almost fucking canceled.
I know.
And that would have been it.
It would have been it, but at least it felt so comic booky in a rad way that's rarely happens in our shows now.
I think this show, even last season, they did such a good job at just giving you such a good ending where it's if this is our last, this is we're going out on a bang and you're going to wonder what's going to happen and you want to know. But they do finales better than any other show that I know.
Caitlin, can I ask you one more question before we go? John tells Lana that he is leaving town.
Yes.
Which it's a classic, I'm a side character. Bye. Do you think that's going to stick? Do you think that John Henry's storyline is over? Or do you think that they'll recant that and make him stick around longer? Because his daughter's a part of the family, right?
Yeah, his daughter's a part of the family because, her mom biologically is Lana. Lois. But I think this was a hopeful for a spinoff or something because we have a bunch of people in Metropolis right now and they're all like good side characters. And I feel like it could have been a good show. Maybe that's what they were going for. But I don't think John Henry was one of our favorite people or like the most interesting storyline. So I think this is just them finding a way to only bring him in every once in a while, not be a season regular.
I mean, an argument could be made or researched, but we don't do that, that he was only supposed to be around for 6 episodes anyway, right? And he's been around for 3 seasons.
Yeah. Ryan, question for you, because we're done talking about Superman and Lois and now talking about a website. What's your big website idea?
My website is, of course, sustainedoroverruled.com.
Whew, this is important, but explain this to me.
You go there, and then underneath the word sustained, it has the definition, and underneath the word overruled, it has the definition. There's literally nothing to click on, nothing to buy. There's no drop-down menus, which maybe I shouldn't do that for the ad, but it just says these 2 words, here is their definition. It's like dictionaries, but there's so many words in a dictionary. What if there was only 2 words in a dictionary?
But what if you need like examples and like to know when you want which one?
Sure, that's great. Find a different website. This is sustained and overruled and the definitions.
Not even sustained versus overrules. It's sustained and.
We'll do versus. I like versus because that's more of like it sounds like a court case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So
Although overruled is going to get fucked in the actual trial because everything they say is going to get shot down. Because overruled is the bad one, Cassie.
It's the bad one. Yes, bad.
Sustained.
Yeah. Well, Ryan, the people need to know this because it's very confusing and we're not all lawyer boys like you. So I know this website is simple to make, but you're too busy studying for the bar. So I know you don't have the time to make it. I'm going to send you over to my friend, cybersprout.net, because they're going to build it for you. And I know this is just 2 words up on a screen, but if you wanted more out of it, they could do more. That's because they offer premium hosting that's specifically built for WordPress. They handle security, not an issue for you. It's 2 words up there. Maintenance, again, 2 words. You don't really need it. Backups, let it crash. You can throw the 2 words back up there again.
We definitely need security because what if somebody hacks it and switches the definitions and now everyone's confused?
You're so right. This is this job we can only give to cybersprout.net. We can only trust them with this. This is the utmost importance. If you got a website, they'll migrate it for free. They focus on collaboration. They work hand in hand with you. Cybersprout.net, your partner for a digital world. Coming up next, it's the pull list. It's time for the pull list where we talk about all the other shows we watched this week. First show starting it off is Riverdale.
On this week's episode of Riverdale, the Red Scare has hit Riverdale High, and no, I don't mean everyone got their period at the same time. As the administration is removing comic books from the marketplace to burn them, Cheryl's dad is demanding she rat on her friends for being at an inappropriate party. Meanwhile, Veronica's dad is demanding Veronica tell the FBI that he was in Cuba on a father-daughter trip, so they stop asking him about being a commie. Taste buds, I ask you this. Who's the only poet/guitar player/athlete/soldier/bear fighter/stage actor that can make the Riverdale kids realize the difference between right and wrong?
Archie.
It's Archie.
It's Archie, and somebody hands him a play that he reads. And he reads that play in front of class. That play was turned into a 1997 film starring Daniel Day-Lewis, and my goodness, does Archie pull out the DDL John Proctor when he says, "My name! All I have is my name! My name is all I've got. You've already taken my soul, but my name is KJ Apa, which apparently is a real name of a real person. The single greatest actor that we have living today.
I think so, Ryan. How inspired were you after that? Like,
I have said all season that this is the best work that he has done on the show. Real quick, side tangent, line of the week. You guys tell me who said this. Their English teacher gets fired for teaching them about, normal stuff. And somebody says, "What's the dealio with Miss Thornton?" Can you
I've
guess?
said that so many times about a teacher.
Is that a Jughead?
No, it's an Archie. It's full on Archie. He's amazing. He's just having so much fun here, even in his Crucible readings. Veronica's dad gets busted with a blonde mistress.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
This is trivia. I don't know if this is obvious or not. What is the name of Veronica's dad's mistress?
Candy.
No, close. Same first sounding letter.
Candace. Penelope.
Penelope is correct. I don't know how you did it, Caitlin. But Penelope is correct. No, this gentleman he replaced Ryan Seacrest on Live with Ryan and Kelly and took over so he could host a show with his wife, Kelly Ripa. So it's Kelly. Kelly is the mistress.
Dang.
Oh, wait, they actually made her name Kelly too, like in the show?
Yes.
Good.
What?
That's Riverdale
his
shit.
mistress is
Because I
Kelly
knew
Ripa.
she's been his mistress before in like past seasons.
Oh, yeah, I knew that too, Caitlin.
Because like I remember when Riverdale was hot, they were like, "Oh my God, his actual wife is his mistress." Wah! But now Riverdale's like not as hot.
What do you mean when Riverdale was hot?
Yeah, it never lost it, baby.
I mean, it's hot again.
Again, he fought a bear, so
That's when I kind of fell off the wagon.
That's when you jump on the wagon. What are you talking
he fought
about?
a fucking bear.
I think that was like the last time because I watched it I watched almost every episode, and then he fought a bear, and I was like, I don't know if I can watch this anymore.
That's
All
crazy.
right, Caitlin, if you watched it so closely, here's the next trivia question.
Okay.
Mrs. Thornton gets fired, and now Archie's poet mentor is gone. Who do you think replaces her?
The guitar teacher that he's gonna fuck.
It's Ms. Grundy. She is back to the school. She straight up says to him, just so you know, I will help you with your poetry, but also I can introduce you to a poet. That's my husband, the husband that I love, that I fuck, and I will never fuck you. And Archie's like, all right, weird things to say, teacher.
Ryan, you don't know, but before we recorded, there was some trivia I was doing with her, and she was nailing it, and she was like, I fucking need this. So the fact that you have fed this beast by giving her more trivia that she could kill at the moment.
Was it about Riverdale?
It was.
I'm just like Bizarro-Superman right now. I'm getting stronger. You can't stop me.
Every death of a wrong answer makes me stronger and stronger. And then our other plot line is the comic books are very bad. Nobody likes the comic books. Many people are telling me comic books are bad. And so Jughead and Ethel take the comic books and they start selling them undercover at Pops. And it's a full drug ring that they have going. Kids bring in, they say, the cover price is 10 cents. I'll give you 15. And Jughead's like, 25 cents. The kid's like, oh, no, that's too expensive. Oh, really? Then you don't need it that much, do you? And then the cops come in, and they're like, we hear there's a comic book ring going on. And Jughead's like, whoa, stop. We're sorry. And the cops are like, no, it's fine. It's actually not that big of a deal. Like,
It's comic books, bro.
Nobody cares, Jughead.
Moment of the week time?
My moment of the week is Betty Cooper's mom. A ton of terrible shit was going down in this episode from the parents, but Betty Cooper's mom was noticeably absent. Trivia question, Caitlin. Do you know why?
She died. Just
Nope.
kidding. What?
Pregnant in real life.
She
No.
caught pneumonia.
Caught pneumonia. No.
She catch the black lung. Bubonic plague.
So you pick this path and you're just gonna keep going down it.
Yeah,
Cancer,
I'm on it.
AIDS.
I'm on it.
Madchen Amick, the oddly named actress who plays Betty Cooper's mom, directed this episode. So congratulations to her.
So she couldn't act and direct. Excuse me. I've seen Jensen Ackles do that with Supernatural. So like,
Of all of the fucking people who
all
have
the
directed
pools,
and acted
there's
at the
so
same time, Jensen Ackles is your go-to.
it's the only one I can honestly think of.
Have you never heard of Woody Allen?
Nope. Don't know him.
Nah,
No,
dog.
no.
Honestly, couldn't tell you one character he played.
It's usually Woody Allen.
Riverdale is Wednesdays on the CW. Our next show is The Walking Dead: Dead City.
On the second episode of Walking Dead: Dead City, which I learned is New York City, Maggie and Negan encounter native New Yorkers, and they have rigged weapons made from power tools, and they eat pigeons. Meanwhile, Tommaso calls Croat Van Gogh because he not only has one ear, he's also very cultured. Also, Negan threatens a New York survivor with a shiv made out of a pigeon bone. Taste buds, I ask you this. Does this make you wish you watched this episode? Or the show?
No.
Yeah, because I really want to get caught up on Tomas and Croat. I appreciate you.
You never forget that his name
There's
is Croat.
just so much pigeon shit within this. I understand they're in New York and like
They're in New York and it's apocalyptic. So
Hold on, I have a
what better
fucking question.
source?
yeah.
Washington, D.C., District of Columbia, Dead
Yep.
City, D.C. Why would it not take place in D.C.?
Can't tell
Ryan,
you.
you put too much thought into this already, right out the gate.
I was honestly surprised when I read through it that Dead City is indeed not just like a place, it's New York City. I was like, oh, I know that place.
I've known that one.
I've heard of that one before.
Do you guys think I'm trying to be more of a Tomas when I'm actually a Croat?
You're so Croat, bro.
He's cultured, you know. 1 year and cultured. This episode has lots of pigeons in it and people eat pigeons. So we've had so far on our show people eating baby cows, people eating rats, and now pigeons. The rats of the sky.
Oh.
All this
Better
week.
better than s'mores.
That's insane.
You could make a s'mores with all of that right there. Would you like that? Was that be better than an actual s'mores?
Hey
Ryan?
Hey Ryan, you like that?
You'll like that shit? You want me to fucking feed that, spoon feed that to you, put that all stacked on each other and fucking shove it in your face?
Chocolate
Tell
to
me.
me is actually baby cow, and marshmallow is rat, and graham cracker is pigeon. So that's how I eat a s'more when I'm at the beach, at a beach bonfire with my friends. That's what I fucking do. Contact at popfilter.co. Write in. Tell us, s'mores are fucking gross, right? Do they call them
Insane.
s'mores, but you want sless? You don't want s'more, you want sless? I would rather eat something called sless.
I'll let you have a hot 5 to get this material out. The floor's all yours.
Objection. Sustained.
Sustained.
The Walking Dead Dead City is Sundays on AMC. Our next show is Gotham Knights. On the series finale of Gotham Knights, the GK get in a big battle and have to trust each other in order to make it out alive, and Harvey lets his other half free and tries to kill Rebecca. Taste buds, I ask you, are you like super bummed that Harvey is fully free and the show is now over?
No.
Cassie, always ask yes or no questions. So we could just say no, and then we can move the fuck on.
Move on. I just haven't heard your answer yet. and
Oh,
then I
I'm sorry. That wasn't like no. That was like no.
No.
Like you know when Vader when he found out that Padme died, he was like no.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that. In that one. In the
Which
in
is
the
like
thing.
actually like a yes. It's like no, yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, I got
okay,
that.
Okay, cool.
I got that. That was clear. Gotham
Do you guys
Knights. No, go ahead.
Do you guys remember that day? I think it was in our text feed where we learned that Superman and Lois was continuing and Gotham Knights was not.
Crazy.
It was
Just-
the happiest the chat has ever been.
I think I actually replied back to that message.
That one got a response.
That's how big it was. I think I actually texted back.
Gotham Knights was Tuesdays on the CW. It's now dead. Pour one out for the homie. Our last show of the week is Secret Invasion.
On the second episode of Secret Invasion, everyone is dealing with the aftermath, the terrorist attack, and everyone is pretty sure Nick Fury has something to do with it. This leads to a meeting between Nick and Rhodey, which doesn't go so great. Meanwhile, Gravik, who used to be a little piss boy, is now a piss man and forces himself to be the head of the scroll table. Taste buds, do we feel like the first act is here and done, and we're now officially cooking with gas?
God, Ryan, could we only hope? I'm not going to put... I don't think so. I feel like they can drag it out more somehow, even though we got all the points. We got the drama. We know it all. But sadly, I think every episode is going to follow this formula of 30 minutes, boring politics, nonsense, lectures, and then a little bit of action at the end.
Ryan, I was so sleepy after watching this. It was sad. And this was like a 55-minute episode. This is like part of a full movie. We could have cut all of this content down and had like something more concise because I'm tired. It's too
Where
much.
are we asking, where is our Topher Grace?
Where is my fucking Topher Grace?
Where's our
Does it-
Topher Grace?
exactly what we're asking. We're screaming out as we watch.
And by that, I mean Topher Grace as like, what's the black monster from Spider-Man? What's his name?
Venom?
Yes. Topher Grace as Venom. That's what I want.
Yes.
That would make this better. Thank you. Thank you, Ryan, for adding Topher Grace as Venom in this. I would
Based on your stumbling to answer my question, I'll explain. Topher Grace is mostly famous, I would say more so than that 70s show, for editing the Star Wars prequels into one actually good movie. Like, he spent the time and did that.
How dare he? How dare
I
he
guarantee
fucking do
you.
that.
Caitlin, man, be born older. Like, if you were older, then you would just appreciate actual good Star Wars movies. I guarantee you, after watching 2 episodes, that if he were to take all 6 episodes of Secret Invasion, he could cut this into one good movie. And that is like 1:56, 1 hour, 56 minutes. If I see anything less than 2 hours before I watch a movie, I'm fucking stoked. I'm so there.
Hype.
So 1 hour and 56 minute movie, because I swear to God, I'm charging my phone on the other side of the room, and one eye is just twitching looking at it like, oh, man, I bet I could be playing the fattest fucking Sudoku game right now on my phone instead of watching this. But if I go and pick it up, then shit will happen, and I'll miss it, and I'm disappointed so far.
Ryan, I put my phone down and I was like, I'm not even going to take notes. I'm just going to watch this and like take mental notes. I couldn't even mentally take notes. It was just so slow. There was just like not a lot going on. We have Superman and Lois, which is doing so much where it almost could be like too much, but they like balance it perfectly. And then they have this show, which is doing so fucking little. It's like, it's killing my brain cells.
Yeah, like you can zone out, and we all have, I'm pretty sure, like 20 minutes of this and not miss a fucking thing.
There was a whole speech by Nick Fury that
just couldn't tell you what it was.
Almost everything Nick Fury says, you could probably.
All right, that's SLJ you're talking about. Let's settle down here a little bit.
Okay, my king
At one point,
did come out looking fucking like a king. So
the drip after being shoved into a van and kidnapped,
yes.
the drip that he provided him, fucking good.
That was the best part. I was like, fuck, look at him come out here with these glasses too.
He had a hat, a little 3-piece ensemble.
He doesn't have that eye patch no more. He got glasses and a nice suit and a hat.
There is something in this episode that I will say is some of the greatest screenwriting I have ever witnessed before, which is Nick Fury and Ben Mendelsohn. I'm not going to pretend to remember his Skrull name. Is it Talos?
It is something like that.
Are we dealing with Uncle Tal and a Talos on 2 different shows? Unbelievable.
He screamed it so many times. It's insane.
Talos. Yeah, it is Talos.
They're on a train, and Nick Fury tells this 17-minute story about how his mother used to like to play games, and one of those games is it's something like, tell me something I don't know.
Yeah, tell me something I don't know.
And then he's like, do you want to play? And Talos is like, I fucking guess, man, after all that build-up, like, what choice do I have?
Literally 17 minutes to build that up.
And then Nick Fury's like, tell me something I don't know. And that's just like, instead of having more of a previously on, they said, tell me some more exposition about the Skrull planet that I don't know. Really? Yeah. We have to involve your mother in the game she made up in order to like get more information out?
Yeah.
Like, literally, it could have been done in 2 sentences. Just, I used to play this game. It's called Tell Me Something I Don't Know. Now tell me something I don't know about this situation, motherfucker. Like, that's it. That's all we needed.
Don't want a motherfucker in there, too. It really hits hard. It's good.
He's
good at that.
Instead, we got all that. And it's a bummer because, like, we have those moments. And that's, like, when people tell me, Ryan, this is going to be insulting. When people tell me to watch Succession, that beginning half is what I envision, and why I can't get into it is all because it just seems like that nonsense. Like, when people say the screen cap of like Succession was the wildest thing happened on it, and it's just 2 people sitting around a computer, like that's how this show is. And
Cassie, you've never been more wrong and less wrong at the exact same time.
We agree on a lot of TV shows, but Succession is a little bit better than that. I'm not saying it's the best show ever, but it's better than fucking that 17-minute drag out. Oh.
Yeah, I know it's got to be better than that, but that's how I imagine it being. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what like when you guys say, like, I just picture it being the same type of shit. But then we get such good action scenes. Like, every time there's action, it's like rad choreography. It's going hard as hell. And then like it's over. And then we're back to nonsense.
In
I feel
Secret
like-
Invasion, you're talking about?
In Secret Invasion.
Okay, so like, are we talking about
Succession.
Because I was thinking, like, what the fuck happened in Succession? Did I miss?
When they Control-Alt-Delete that one thing.
When they
Are
stole
we-
Daddy's money using a computer.
And just guns. John wicked Daddy's money out of the bank. Are we talking about the meat locker scene?
Meat locker scene.
Okay, so it was good, but at that point, like, my eyes have already glazed over, you know?
Same, Ryan. Same. Nothing could save me from being glazed.
The real victim in this entire show was me, the viewer. Earlier, we had talked about Lex Luthor literally torching, chaining up and torturing and torching Bizarro. I thought that episode showed more about the issues with torture and why it's bad than this one did, where Olivia Colman comes in, does her Olivia Colman thing of like, well, hello, I'm a old British lady, ain't I? Isn't it? And torture someone, and it's all a joke. And like, I hate to start doing my like fuck Bush liberal flag waving bullshit, but like, I don't like this shit anymore. I don't like watching this stuff. It doesn't work. It's not a good way to get information. And also, I think that anybody, I get real nervous when about the people who like Marvel properties for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, Captain America's awesome because he went against the government. And some people are like, Captain America's awesome because he voted for Trump. I think this is bad. Like, it's played off as a joke.
I think this is bad. And then, I don't know, Don Cheadle's character, I don't like him. And
I'm so confused about what happened to this character.
because, yeah, he seems so off and so different than what we've seen in the past. And just how he's just a politician now. I'm like, what really happened these past 5 years?
I think the best way to think about Rhodey is to think about Tony Civil War in the Civil War era, the Marvel Civil War era, not the American Civil War era.
The other one.
Of just like I see the big picture so much, so hard that I've stopped thinking about anything else. And so Rhodey's thinking about the big picture so fucking hard, and is in a lot of ways our last remaining Stark, right? Like he's got the outfit, he's got the brains, he's got like the I'm going to protect America, and sometimes like when you want to protect so hard, freedoms go away. And so I think that's where he's at right now. If they make Rhodey the villain of this, that's super interesting.
Yeah. I just don't know if they will. But they did make it like... The only thing that makes me think there's a slight potential for that is the scene where he does, he gets Nick Fury to sit him down and essentially fire him. But he does it so fucking savagely.
So
Yeah.
savage.
And so mob boss style of like, welcome to my diner, come sit at my table. Like,
Oh,
where
it's
there is-
fucking full on mafia.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you are dealing with the spryest 79-year-old of all time, and he just makes that lackey suffer. Are you guys worried? Is it you're concerned that like they're trying to get Rhodey to win, and Rhodey's played by Don Cheadle, and you guys know that Cheadle's never prosper? You guys can object at any point, and I will overrule it, but you can't object.
Sustained.
I'm just too nervous at this point, Ryan. I still can't process which one's the good or the bad.
Seriously, that's why I just stick with sustained. That's the only word I can remember, so I just stick with that one.
It's just
I have
not in
a
the cards
website
for
you can
me.
go to understand the difference.
I need examples, Ryan. I can't do without examples.
After this episode, and it's another one that dragged for us, I just got to take a poll. Is anybody giving it a shot to see if they've done enough exposition and the next one's good, or are we too burnt by this? How's everyone feeling with it?
Cassie,
I
I've seen
don't-
every episode of Runaways. I've seen every episode of
That's-
Moon Knight. Like I am going to watch the MCU until I stop, and so I'm gonna keep going.
Ooh, he's a brave one. Caitlin?
I don't want to, but I will.
I feel you.
It's so hard to watch.
It's actively a bad time watching this.
It's not fun. And we get enough politics in real life. We get enough war. We get enough all this kind of stuff in real life. And it's like, I don't need to go into my fantasy fun little world and have it all shoved in my face again. It's like, it's just dragging. That's like, I think another thing on top of it, it drags out and it's like, this topic is not something I like. I would like someone in a cape to come down and save me, please. But they said don't call them because we don't want them impersonating them.
Also, follow up from last week. We specifically told them to change their AI created credits, and they did not change their AI.
They didn't. They doubled down on that shit.
Doubled down. They played it twice in this
They
episode.
said even if you hit the skip intro button, they said, nah, bitch, watch it. Let's go to moments of the week, though. Ryan, what do you got?
I have a couple. After Nick Fury was not super stoked about Talos' answer, he said, you know what? This is your stop now. And just made him get off the train. And
Like a good friend of his.
Now you're stuck here. I want to do that from now on. Anytime like we're driving around, even if you're the one that's driving, I'm going to say like, stop, you guys get out of the car.
You know what? Actually, this is your stop. Pull over.
Moment of the week number 2 is at one point Samuel L. Jackson says, we're being invaded and we can't tell who they are. Mm-hmm. That's the entire plot of the entire show. Like,
yeah.
I love that
up.
summation.
Summed it up real briefly.
If you can't afford the hour to watch the show, watch that one. No, listen to me do that line reading, and then it's good. And then one more thing, Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore is the Fox News correspondent, and that is perfect.
Ryan, we were trying to remember his name. Please help us out if you know it.
Do you know his real name?
Christopher, it's not Christopher McQuarrie, who is the director of the Mission Impossible movies. Christopher McDonald?
Okay.
Mr. Ronald McDonald himself.
Shooter McGavin.
Yeah.
That's better.
Caitlin, what's your moment of the week?
My moment is anytime that Samuel L. Jackson. Well, first of all, when he came in his drip, like when he came up on that fucking train, I'm literally like, this show sucks, blah blah blah, and then all of a sudden he walks in with just new suit, new outfit, new Samuel L. Jackson. I was like, I'm here, I'm riding this train. This is fucking cool kid coming out of the bathroom. Love him. So that part was cool. And then anytime Samuel L. Jackson said Talos, like where he like put the emphasis on Talos, every single time it made me very excited.
Yeah.
I truly think that they're giving Samuel L. Jackson too many words to say. And it's like his 17-minute speech. They cut that down. It'd be so fucking, he'd hit it so hard. And it would hit my heart so hard. But the writers are like, no, we want to put extra words in this guy.
Put him to work.
And it's like, no, put him in a good suit and make him yell Talos a bunch of times. I love that.
I'm letting our audience know right now that Caitlin's impression of Samuel L. Jackson is fine and not problematic. But if me and Cassie do it, it would be dangerous. So that's when emails would come in. But
Yeah.
Caitlin's, I think, is working.
It's working. My moment of the week is when he finds out that his best friend, his homie from day one, essentially fires him. They do this cut scene where they have to have him go sit out on a bench, and the way he walks up to it is like an old man having a heart attack. He throws off his hat on the bench, and it's just this very weird Life Alert commercial thrown in the middle, and it was beautiful and perfect in every way, and I loved it. Secret Invasion is Wednesdays on Disney Plus. That is it for the pull list. And I know earlier I said we'd be talking about some X-Taz, and we were going to try to figure out what the best moment of the entirety of X-Taz is, but we've run out of time because we need to give that a spotlight and a fair time. So we're going to dig into that next week. And that is going to be it for this episode, my friends. My co-host, Caitlin and Ryan. You've done so great this episode. What a great trial we've had here. But the trial is over. You guys can go home. You're guilty or whatever the fuck. I don't know. But all I know is I do need you out of here. And Ryan, I'll let you have one more word on the mic, and then I'm going to kick you off. Choose your one
Watermelon.
word. Excellent word. And that's a wrap on Ryan. For the guests to help me out, I do have Little Bread Boy here, and Little Bread Boy is going to tell me about some other shows on the network. Little Bread Boy?
Well, hello there.
Hi, Bread Boy. I'm sorry. I
I'm a
don't have
little boy
name.
made of bread. My arm is bread, my leg is bread, my other leg is bread, and my other arm is bread.
What about that stomach?
My tummy is made of fucking carbs because I can't stop eating them. They're so delicious.
I feel you there. You know what, Bread Boy? You're bringing a fun vibe. I like you already.
And I like you too. Hello there.
Hello there.
You ever eaten bread, if you know what I mean?
Now I'm worried that I don't know what you mean, but I have eaten bread.
Oh, hello, have you?
I don't like it.
Those are my bread guns.
Did they?
I'm a little bread cowboy. Did you know that?
I actually didn't know the cowboy part because, I figured you would have like a little cowboy hat, maybe made of bread, but I don't happen to see that. So,
Well, hold on. Let me grab a piece of bread.
yeah. God, it's so disturbing to watch bread eat bread. Honestly,
Now I got a little hat.
that's good. That is fun, though. Can you kind of switch up like who you are each day? Like today you're cowboy. Are you always cowboy or is cowboy just today?
If I don't switch it up every day, all of a sudden I'm a crouton.
Bread boy, you're fun. Do you happen to listen to any other shows on this network?
Of course I do. On this this network, no. This network's for the birds. Just like I am when an old man feeds me to the ducks.
I want to be mad, but the setup was so good for that one, and honestly, we deserved it. But if we could step outside from the bit and the jokes here. If you could,
Brad Boy doesn't joke. Brad Boy only gets serious. So when you do a bit, I do a serious bit. Go ahead. Start a bit.
Do you listen to podcasts?
No, but I don't.
But you don't?
No, but I was born with a condition called no butt, and so it's hard for me to improv because instead of trying to yes and, I'd no butt. No, but like if I am going to listen to shows, I listen to the movie of the year. I heard that right now they're anointing their favorite movie of what year were they doing?
2002?
2002. That's a movie with a Lord of the Rings in it. I love a Lord of the Rings movie.
Don't we all?
Not a Hobbit movie. I don't care about Smaug.
Get that out of here.
But a Lord of the Rings movie I really like.
Not stale. Certified fresh?
Not stale.
Got him. Got him.
No, I don't think the Lord of the Rings movies are crusty at all.
Oh, man. All right. Well, Bread Boy, thank you so much for your help.
I gotta say, is this the best reaction to any character that's ever been on your show? Like, I feel like that this is like not negative at all.
No, honestly, I think you're a big hit. You got returning potential. Absolutely. I would love to bring Little Bread Boy back on here. And actually, you know what? I love Bread Boy so much. Do you happen to know about websites too?
Of course, I know about websites.
Do any ones off the top?
Do you
of
have
your
a
head
follow-up question?
Yeah, and I'm working on it. Thank you so much.
Oh.
Do you happen to have like any ones off the top of your head that you like to go to? Maybe perhaps any that are related to Pop Filter.
Oh, popfilter.co is my number one website related to Pop Filter. I have to say, it ranks number one. Also, patreon.com/PopFilter. Pick a tier, rate a tier, eat a tier.
Eat a tier.
Shed a tear. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good there.
We also got an Amazon. Who knows what that one is though? So figure it out.
Popfilter.com/Amazon.
Oh my gosh, Little Brett Boy knows who that one is. Shout out to Little Brett Boy. But don't, Brett Boy. This was great. Again, great returning potential for you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your bread puns and being a little cowboy. It's all been fun.
If you need to find me again, just follow the breadcrumbs. And please, while I walk away, don't look at my buns.
Caitlin, did you look at his buns?
I did.
God damn it, Caitlin.
Sorry.
Caitlin, while I got you on mic, can you also do what else do we got? Social?
Yeah. Yeah. You wanna fucking go on social media?
I won't go on there, bro.
You should, Cassie.
I just don't know how. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to look up.
The only social media that you should go to is Instagram.
Okay.
Because all the rest of them suck. And I think we can all agree on that.
True that. Heard that.
If you
Hey
go on
guys,
Instagram,
Ryan here. I'm sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt, but Caitlin's just on stage.
Yeah. Caitlin just she was like, you know what? You gave me co-host and I'm just not going to leave.
Yeah.
Objection overruled.
Some of us didn't have to leave. So,
Sorry. Do you want me to, are you requesting that I kick Caitlin out?
No. I'm sure if Caitlin wants to stay on mic, then she deserves to stay on mic.
No. You know what? Fuck it. Let's bring in Caitlin. I'm so sorry. Ryan has said you got to go.
okay, I'm leaving.
I would like to bring in juror number 7 to tell me about social media. Juror number 7, the mic is yours.
Can I describe juror number 7 though before? Can I describe?
Go ahead, Ryan.
Okay. Juror number 7 is crazily, even though we're indoors, wearing a giant yellow rain jacket and a yellow rain hat, and is holding a hook and is constantly scratching his beard with one hand and his crotch with another. All right, juror number 7, go ahead.
Hi there. I brought my monkey here with me.
Okay.
His name is George.
Uh-huh.
And I'm so glad that you invited me up and George up.
Yeah, honestly, I was surprised you did make the juror team. I didn't know you could have a monkey in the courtroom, but here we are.
He's just curious about everything, so
Yeah, he seems like it.
like he really wanted to be part of this with me.
Is he a different juror? Is he juror number 8?
No,
Yeah, did he get his own number?
he's a monkey, guys.
Monkeys are basically humans. Like he can weigh in on morality and like if this person should die or not.
I mean, he definitely will, but I would not trust him with my life. He definitely throws poop at everything.
Instead of getting the guy sentenced to jail time, what if we just sentence him to poop time?
I think that would be a fair sentence, and I can get George on board with that one for sure.
Perfect. Well, I'm also picking your brain here. You happen to know anything about social media and a social that I should go to?
I heard something about a social, and someone was talking about it, but as I am a juror, I don't have any opinions about anything because that's how I got on this stand. But if I were to withhold information, I do like to go on Instagram, and my favorite place to go is your pop filter.
That was some real passion that I wasn't ready for on your pop filter there.
Don't tell the judge.
It's our little secret.
George, you don't tell him either.
Overruled.
Don't tell him, George.
Got him. Well, that's it for plugs. No, next week, you guys, I got to tell you what's going on next week because we got a big episode. We are going to be doing things. Big things, even.
We're going to do that bracket.
Yeah, we're finally going to say goodbye to X-Men the Animated Series, and we're going to do that with a bracket to figure out what the single greatest moment was. So be sure to catch that next week. For Mike, I'm Ryan. For Ryan, I'm Mike. For Caitlin, I am me. And for me, I am me. Bye, everyone.